For me, this story starts about 4 years ago. It's ongoing. It hasn't ended. 4 years ago was the morning after my college graduation, and I woke up in the morning, happy, excited, and looked down at my phone, and somehow it had been on silent, and I had a series of about 15, 20 different text messages, and flipped through them all. They were all from my brother, all with the life is over, I hate everything, nothing's ever going to be the same again, the girlfriend broke up with me, life isn't worth living, you'll find me dead on her doorstep in the morning. Gut-wrenching, punch in the stomach, I don't know how else to describe it to you, type of fear. I finally got a hold of my dad, and they had gotten the same series of messages, and luckily for me and for my family, they had gotten to him in time. They had checked him into a suicide watch prevention at the hospital. Over the next 4 years, we found out that my brother was an Oxycontin addict, struggling pretty hard with addiction, in and out of rehab multiple times. Most recently, picked up heroin over this past summer. Checked himself into rehab for, I think, the 4th time this fall down in Tennessee, which leads me to the next really big fear moment in this story. Got the phone call from my parents saying he got into a fight with the counselors, and he's left. He left with another guy. We don't know where he is. Is the next phone call I get going to be saying you need to get to Tennessee? Am I going to see him again, but only in a coffin? Is what kind of started. And that has been my reality over the past 4 years for me and for my family, of kind of that constant fear lurking in the back of your head of, is the next phone call going to be what the final one? All the while, the more I tried to be in control, the more it seemed to slip away. The more I tried to control what was happening, the more scared and lost and terrified I felt. And so I finally decided that something had to change. I couldn't control this situation anymore. There was nothing about it that I could do, nothing I could change, nothing. And it came down to kind of the difference between two very small words for me, in and with. I had along the way decided that I could live in control of things, and therefore I was living in fear. And I was living with a little bit of faith in God, but he'd taken a back seat. And I realized that I had to be the one to shift. I had to decide that I couldn't be in control anymore. I had to give the control back to God and back to Christ and live in faith. And once I started to do that and live in faith and in God, while the fear was still there, it wasn't consuming me. It's still there. I don't think it'll ever go away. And I don't think that by believing in God that you'll never have a situation that's scary or that's fearful. But for me, by believing in Christ and giving the control back over to him, it's bearable. I can live with it. I know that at the end of the day, the control's not mine. The control belongs with God and with Christ. And through that, even though I'm still scared, even though I still wonder whether that next phone call is going to be the last one, it's not my problem to solve. I can't do it alone.